I will be looking at the painting St. Francis in Ecstasy by Giovanni Bellini. Bellini painted this work in 1475 to 1480, placing it in the early Renaissance. The painting is fairly large, measuring 124 by 142 centimeters. This is an oil painting on wood panel. Let's look at the process for such a painting using a small wooden panel. First, an assistant would seal the wood with gesso and then sand it, repeating this process several times. This painting emphasizes the landscape, a new development by Bellini. Landscape paintings often follow the rule of thirds, so next the painter might divide the panel into thirds and make a rough outline of the background, middle, and foreground. In looking at this painting, we can see the background in the upper left, the middle in the middle left, and the foreground stretching throughout the red blocks, making this an asymmetrical painting. Next, Bellini would paint the sky in layers called glazes, add the mountains and then the hills, creating atmospheric perspective. Atmospheric perspective was created by painting the bottom of the sky, mountains, and distant buildings in soft colors. Linear perspective is shown by orthogonal lines from the rocks and trellis converging on the head of St. Francis. The cool color of the sky and warm color of the hills are repeated on the warm colors of the clothing of St. Francis and the cool color on the rocks behind him, using complementary colors to create contrasts. As we look at St. Francis, we see a naturalistic figure. His feet are grounded. There is visual weight. His clothing looks three-dimensional with the use of chiaroscuro. Although this is a religious painting telling the story of St. Francis, a reclusive monk living in a cave, there is no halo around his head, no angels, and no rays of light beaming down from the heavens. But we do see religious symbolism in the painting, such as the stigmata, the sign of Christ's blood from his crucifixion on the palm of St. Francis's hand. In addition, we see a skull representing death and a Bible representing hope beyond death. St. Francis has emerged from the cave representing death and is standing in ecstasy as he faces the light of God. The painting of St. Francis in Ecstasy is found in the Frick Collection in New York City. If you have an opportunity to visit New York, you may want to include this painting in your itinerary.